Good morning, everyone. I first want to thank you all for your endorsement. It means a tremendous amount because this is not a solo activity in going around this beautiful Commonwealth. It is extremely large. There is no easy way to get from point A to point B. I'm even more delighted than you know to be here this morning, not only to meet all of you. I live in New Hope in Bucks County, so I'm only an hour and 10 minutes down the road. And I got to sleep in my own bed last night. I live in New Hope with my husband and my son and daughter, and I go to St. Martin of Tours Church. And I truly do believe in the principles that you believe in. I knew in 8th grade that I wanted to be a lawyer. And then when I was in 10th grade, I had the unique opportunity to take a course on constitutional law. Our teacher told us that we each had to pick a United States Supreme Court decision. We had to brief it, write about it, and argue it before the whole class. I chose Roe versus Wade. Beyond me of why I chose Roe versus Wade. It was a major undertaking. And then as I got into it, I realized I didn't understand what abortion was, especially at such a young age. So I sent off, did a lot of research, got information, and came into class and hung the pictures on the blackboard showing everybody what abortion was. And from that day forward, my classmates always remember what Roe versus Wade stands for and the destruction that it causes in life. I also have a cousin. Whose mother had to make the determination of whether she would give her life for her child because they could not both survive. And her mother gave her life, and she now serves in the Catholic Church as a nun because she knows that Jesus gave her life to her and that she wants to serve him. So I've had incredible experiences. My only way of making it around this beautiful Commonwealth is I pray a lot. I think God's tired of hearing from me because I'm with him on a moment-by-moment basis and by Christian music in my car. So I know that I am more than grateful than you know to be here. I had 210,000 miles on my car last November. I said it's not going to make the run. I sold it. I now have over 43,000 miles on my car. And it doesn't include all the times that I've flown back and forth to Pittsburgh. I visited over 48 counties out of 67. I've worked tremendously hard. For those of you that don't know me, I've been practicing law for over 26 years. I started my law practice with Pennsylvania Labor Relations Board as a staff attorney. I then went on to clerk for the president judge on the Commonwealth Court. What a unique opportunity to be able to work for the court that I now want to go and serve on. From there, I practiced with 2 major law firms, started my own law firm over 15 years ago, representing international, national businesses throughout the country and nonprofit organizations. In 2002, I had the distinct honor of being appointed by Governor Schweiker to be the first female member on the Pennsylvania Labor Relations Board, and still the only female member on the board since 1937 when the board was created. And then I was reappointed by Governor Randall in 2005 for my hard work and my fair judicial decisions. So it's a very natural response to be able to go on this higher road, to be able to serve the citizens of Pennsylvania in this new light, because as Gwen pointed out, the judiciary is such an important branch. And I firmly believe that there are 3 equal branches of government, and we need to respect the separation of powers. And it is not a judge's position to have two lawyers argue in front of the judge and for that judge to make up policy. Judges are not to legislate from the bench. It needs to be left to the right of the people of this country to talk with their legislators about what the law should or should not be. I also believe that we need to get back to basics of looking to the United States and Pennsylvania Constitution in interpreting Americans' rights and freedoms, and not to look to outside foreign law or precedent in interpreting Americans' rights and freedoms. I truly, yes, you may clap. We need to keep fighting hard for our principles, because if we don't fight for them, we're going to lose them. And as was pointed out earlier, we have a long ways to go because now we're in an uphill battle, and that's sad because we already had people fight for us way back when, which I remember every day because I live 5 minutes down the road from where George Washington crossed the Delaware. And I see the reenactors every year saying, are they going to make it across the Delaware this year because it's too rough or the river's too high? Well, thank goodness George didn't have that thought when he was crossing the Delaware with cannons and horses, and he made it across. So we need to stand up strong and continue to fight for our principles. And as a woman said at the table this morning, go out and say Merry Christmas and not be bashful by it. Please go out, take the literature, put it on the cars. Somebody told me last week that they received literature on the windshield when they came out of church. We need to get the message out. I mean, the government has even strapped the Catholic Church. I went and talked to my priest, and he says, I can't say anything for you. I can't endorse you. I know that you're pro-life, and a lot of the members here are Democrats, and they're going to vote for your opponent. Not only was she endorsed by Planned Parenthood, she's also been endorsed by 2 different organizations that are activists for same-sex marriage. She and I are completely different, and these issues are going to come up before the Commonwealth Court. As some of you may or may not know, every county has a court of common pleas. From there, a case might either go to the Commonwealth Court or to the Superior Court, and then ultimately to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The Commonwealth Court hears all matters involving local and state government. Any cases involving your municipalities, any case filed for or against the Commonwealth, all of the regulatory agencies such as labor relations, unemployment compensation, workers' compensation, insurance, taxation, banking. The Superior Court hears all matters involving criminal law, family law, personal contract disputes. Only about less than 10% of the cases are accepted for appeal by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. So most cases, the court of last resort will be either the Commonwealth Court or the Superior Court. So it's even more important than you know. And we are the real workhorses in the state of Pennsylvania in making sure that there is equal justice under law. So thank you again for your endorsement. I appreciate you getting out the message. As Vaughn said, whether you send it by email blast, by Facebook, by Twitter, make the phone calls, get everybody out to vote. We need to send a gigantic message for 2012 that we have our local races won, and we are going to win big when it comes to the presidential election in 2012. Thank you again, and I look forward to coming back and talking with you and celebrating with you after November 8th. Just a few days, and remind everybody, because when they go around the Commonwealth, they said, Ann, are you sure you have the date right? I'm like, believe me, I know it's November 8th. So call everybody and say you didn't miss the opportunity to vote. It really is late this year, so get out the vote. Thank you again, Gwen, for all that you do.